Hi. Can you hear me okay? Or am I muted?
Oh, no, we can hear you.
You can hear me. Okay, good. Sorry. I'm doing too many things at once. Hello, welcome. I'm here. Okay. Welcome to True Crime Private Eye. We have Savannah with us. And I'm just getting us set up on Instagram. Okay. This is why I am doing two things at once, but we're here. And I always am excited for Thursday nights now because there's always going to be some interesting case that Savannah is bringing to the table. How are you, first off?
Great. Great. Happy to be here. Excited.
All right. And then Denise is backstage. I feel like she's eating dinner. I can see her eating, and it's making me very jealous. But Denise is with us too. She's going to be answering comments, making sure we hear you guys, your questions, whatever it is that you would like to share, because when we get into it, it's harder for us to see the comments. Also, Denise and I are going to be live Monday night. May the 4th be with you. Apparently, that's May 4th. I've only seen one Star Wars, so I probably don't have the right to even quote that. But we're doing a whole episode on cloning, celebrity cloning in particular for pop therapy.
Ooh.
Listen, I have no clue about the cloning world. I really have no idea, but people have been asking us to do it, so we're doing it. So that's Monday night here. We will be doing celeb cloning. Denise and I are going to channel. We're going to go deep. We're going to answer your questions. We're going to have Jen with us. She's going to assist with comments and making sure the live stream stays up while we're channeling. So it'll be a lot of fun. That's May 4th, Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Here, YouTube. Okay. Savannah, tell us a little bit about the cases you have tonight.
So tonight we have Andrew Gosden, a young man who bought a one-way ticket to London and totally disappeared. We have Lars Mittank, I think that's how you say his name. He developed some pretty erratic behavior and ran into an airport saying he doesn't want to die here and also disappeared. And then we have the Aaron Valenti case, the tech CEO that said, "We live in the Matrix," and then disappeared.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay. So which one do you want to start with?
We can start with Andrew Gosden.
All right.
So Andrew Gosden was 14 years old at the time, and he disappeared on September 14th, 2007. He bought a one-way train ticket from Doncaster to a place called London King's Cross. The last footage they have of him was on a CCTV in the train station, and his case is still active, but there's been no sign or anything of him since.
All right. How come every time we're live, my doorbell rings? This is so weird. Hi, Opie. Thank you for not barking. I'm looking up Andrew. Hold on. I'm looking for his pictures. I have Ashely,
While you're
Lars,
looking for that,
Andrew.
okay, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, I was just gonna say while you're looking for that, in 2021 they did arrest two men on suspicion of kidnapping. However, they were released without charge.
Okay. Hi, you guys. You guys, Denise is here saying hello, and I'm saying hello for us also. And I got his pictures.
Great.
Ooh, that shirt he's wearing is awfully dark.
I noticed. Teenage angst, I suppose.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, tell me one more time, where was the last time they saw him?
So Andrew went missing from London. He bought a one-way ticket from a place called Doncaster to go to a place called London King's Cross Station. So this is sort of an international case. No explanation. His family says they're completely baffled. Did pretty well in school, didn't have any erratic behavior at home, according to his family. Yeah, it's been quite a while. There's been no movement on his accounts or
Do
him.
you have pictures of the parents?
Let me see if I can get those for you, because it is in London. Let me see.
And I'm sorry, I know I keep asking these questions, but I'm a little flighty. What age did he disappear?
14 years old.
That's what I thought.
2007.
Okay. I don't feel any struggle. I don't feel that it was forced. I don't feel he was kidnapped.
I do have a picture of his parents.
Oh, good. That's going to help, because I'm really not confused, but there's confusion.
Right. Absolutely. I think everyone is confused about this. All right, send that to you.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is look at his parents and see if I can get some information through the parents, because I'm feeling like there's this weird, like right now, the word that so anyone that's new watching, like I'm going to start with something and it may obviously travel into a different direction. But right now I'm getting like this sort of like a mad scientist vibe from this child. Very, caught up in like, I want to use the word kind of science, use that word sort of loosely. Caught up in things that are I'm getting like this whole parallel lives, like walking through a vortex, weird, like he was told, like he went looking for, was he into science fiction?
I think he was. He was a bit of a nerd from what I read.
Because this is what I'm feeling like he went looking for something, like he was told there's this, just bear with me for a minute. I'm going to make up a story based off of what I'm feeling to try and articulate it. He was told that there's a portal at this location. You should go check it out. It's really cool. People have been there. They've experienced stuff there. They think that it's this, or the other, and you should go. And so he's going to check this out. He also struggled with some depression, and a little bit of almost confusion internally about his existence and understanding why he's here. So he's got sort of multiple things compiled. At 14, he started to hit this sort of precipice of confusion. I feel that he wandered. It's like he wandered away and then lost his bearings. And I think he passed, just whether it was starvation or malnutrition, cold. I don't feel that he was taken. I don't feel another person involved in this. I'm not even going to, like I say, I feel like he passed, but honestly, he may not have. He may not have. And there may be this circling back around that he does. And I feel like if he does, there's going to be a very convoluted story that is concocted as to what happened and why. So obviously I'm getting mixed messages. One message is I'm saying that he passed of starvation or something else. And the other message is saying that he could be alive and he may circle back into this dimension in reality and make up a story on what happened and why. Yes, were you going to say something?
Oh,
Please
I was just
go.
going to ask, so do you think that he found a portal and
Mm-mm.
that could have been involved in some way?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
He was so if he was still with us, he would be struggling with a lot of mental illness, being disoriented, feeling disconnected from reality, seeing things, hearing things. Now, I've worked with many clients who struggle with multiple personality, schizophrenia, this type of thing. You can feel, at least I can feel the difference when it is medical and truly something that they need assistance with versus when it is a paranormal experience they're having or something going on internal. And a lot of times it's both. A lot of times they are seeing things, feeling things that are paranormal, and they're also experiencing some level of mental illness. With him, I feel like his mental illness would have overtook. With him, I feel like he was wanting and seeking and hoping to find things, but wasn't really tapped into his intuition. He wasn't really seeing things or having true paranormal experiences, even though that would have been kind of neat for him. That wasn't really his thing. His thing was more sci-fi. And because he always felt disconnected from this planet, disconnected from the earth, disconnected from his body, which to me feels like, again, if he was still here, it would have manifested into mental illness. And so I'm seeing and feeling him disassociate and actually become very confused. And the more that he was without food and water, the more the delusion obviously got worse and worse and worse. This is where I'm struggling to see where he landed, other than I'm seeing him in like a circle. It's not a circle, but it's like there's grass and trees, and it's offset from a very busy area. So he's wandered. He at some point wandered fairly close back to a busier area, but then he sat down. And I'm not seeing him get up from there. But
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy. I was just saying, wow, that's pretty crazy. Poor guy.
Excuse me. He also could be unhoused, and the family isn't aware that he's actually wandering the streets. That could be an interesting something to research or look into, if there is
Definitely.
anyone that maybe fits that his identity.
Okay. Yeah. I will definitely check into that further and see. I don't know how London is about reporting people who they think are missing, but yeah, I'll check into that for sure.
Just so you guys know, every other week we are live. So then we are live in 2 weeks again, and Savannah will bring any updates she has, and we'll throw in 1 or 2 cases if there's time. All right, who's next?
We will cover Lars. So Lars was this is also another international case. Look at us going international. Lars was a 28-year-old German man, went missing July 8th, 2014, near the Varna Airport in Bulgaria, after exhibiting extreme paranoia and erratic behavior. He was there with some friends, and they said that behavior was not normal, and he wasn't acting that way at the beginning of the trip, and that didn't start until maybe 2 or 3 days before. The CCTV footage of him running from out of the airport, actually, a doctor's office, jumping a fence, and then going into the forest. And he was staying at a resort in Bulgaria, so kind of a, nice, it was supposed to be a relaxing trip, it seems like. Um, and his mom got several calls saying that he thought someone was trying to kill him. I'm sorry, trying to unalive him. And there's just been no sign of him since.
Do you have a picture of mom?
Let me see if I can get that for you.
Because, like with the last case, I got a lot of info from the parents.
Okay. It's always hit or miss with international cases and a lot of pictures. Okay. Well, I have a picture of his mom here, so I will send that to you.
And so people were experiencing erratic behavior from him, though. So when he felt like he was going to be unalived, that was after strange behavior had already started.
Right. That was like the peak of it, according to the reports. Okay, that is sent to you. There weren't many pictures of her, too. They both looked like this.
What's her, shoot.
So, just some more details about the trip. So he went on holiday with 5 of his friends. 2 actual friends and 3 were more acquaintances to him. Let's see. Yeah, the resort had great reviews. I'm trying to really determine what he could have been around to start behaving that way. Let's see. It doesn't say that he was a heavy drinker. His friends say that the only abnormality they noticed was his poor appetite. So instead of having a whole meal, he would have a soup or a salad. But it is really hot in Bulgaria.
Gosh, this is a tough one. Hang on.
Right?
I feel like there was a lot of, I feel like with him, there's a lot of repression. So I don't think these behaviors were new. I think that they were always there,
Mhm.
but they were asked to be shut down. I think there was a denial of past behavior from the family. And I don't say that in a judgment way. I just mean I think it was just there was some denial going on. And so this behavior doesn't feel new. I feel like he has been crying out for help for a very long time. So and part of that was due to him being abducted as a child. Hold on, I just need to see if the abduction was alien or human related. There's people that took him from his bed regularly. And this is where the fear of them coming back was coming from. He would try to talk about it and he was told to be quiet. Whether it was because the family knew or didn't know, I don't know. They might have just thought he was, they didn't want to encourage strange behavior. But I'm seeing like two men come to his bed regularly and then returning him. They don't feel alien to me. It feels human. And they're feeling like could have been some sort of government type officials. And what did they want from him? I feel like they were doing. Where did he live? He was on vacation in Bulgaria, but where did he live?
Germany.
I feel like there was like experiments being done on him.
So you don't think it was a trafficking situation, more like we need something that you have and we'll take you home when you're done?
Yeah. It definitely wasn't trafficking.
Okay.
This was science-based, like mind-based. They're doing experiments on people, which I feel like a lot of places do, but that's what was, I don't want to go into any more detail other than that. And so he was being followed. And he had been being followed for a while. And he thought that going to Bulgaria, he was trying to just live a normal life. Right. And it didn't, they followed him, they track him, somehow they track him. And they found him. There's something, I don't know. I'm not totally convinced mom is totally in the dark. There's some connection. This just wasn't a random child randomly picked. There's something more there, and I don't know, and I don't obviously want to get involved with whatever they're doing, and or out whatever they're doing, so I get in trouble. But yeah. Now the thing is, I feel like when he ran, he was caught. And they have him. And I don't know if he is even still alive or not, but I don't feel him ever coming back.
Right. Do you think he was still getting abducted as an adult?
Yeah, it was ongoing. Not as often. And as an adult, it was happening at psychic. They were doing like psychic type experiments. So it wasn't, as a child, they would actually physically remove him, and they weren't doing that as an adult.
Wow.
And so whoever they are, they have him, but I don't know where or what. And I think there's people around him that have some idea, but they can't go up against whoever this is.
Right. Yeah, I understand that. sometimes, you follow a string and it gets into a huge mess, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's so sad.
So what would be an interesting follow-up is if there is something like that out there that's just sort of maybe gossip or, that doesn't send you down an unnecessary rabbit hole, but is just like an easy click. And it's like, yeah, people talk about it, but there's obviously you wouldn't get anything verified, but just to see if that is something that's
Right. Rumor mill. Yep, I will check into that. That is a really, really great idea.
It's interesting. He's saying voice to skull technology used to mind control. That's
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
Right. Yeah. Are you okay? That's
Yeah.
heavy.
Yeah.
You look like it's heavy on you.
That was yeah, but it's just it's just creepy. It's
Yeah.
really creepy when
Yeah. It's creepy, it's horrible, it's wrong, and right. All
and
those
just
other words.
feeling like I think it's sad. I mean, how helpless how helpless he was, really.
Right.
All right, let's see if we can help another helpless soul here. Aaron?
Right. Yes. Erin Valenti. So she is unalived. She's not missing. But the whole situation was very odd. Okay, so October 2019, Erica was 33 years old, tech entrepreneur, CEO, found unalived in the back of her rental car in San Jose, California, after frantically calling her parents and claiming, quote, "We're in the Matrix." Um, yeah, so she was in Silicon Valley for a tech conference and workshops where she was a presenter. Um, October 7th, she was supposed to fly back to Utah. Never made the flight. And she was on. So her parents, when they're talking about the phone call, they're saying that it was hours long. She was talking very quickly. She sounded extremely erratic. And she kept repeating, "It's all a game. It's a thought experiment. We're in the Matrix." And she was officially missing for 5 days. And they eventually found her rental car in a suburban neighborhood, and she was in it.
Oh, really?
Right. Yep. And I think it's her fiance or husband, who actually was a psychologist too, claims that Erica had no history of mental illness, manic episodes, or substance abuse. Erica's company focused on artificial intelligence, tech simulation, and that's the information. And the coroner put natural causes as the reason that she had passed away on the certificate, which is odd because there is no actual cause.
Like, what's considered natural?
Like
A heart attack.
heart attack, high cholesterol, it's being aging in general when
Which
you're
just
past
doesn't match up.
right. So let me get the actual details on what is considered natural. Things like cancer, terminal illnesses.
But she didn't have those.
No, no. According to her family and her husband, she was healthy, 33-year-old, and there was no reason that she should have had. They call it, sudden, unexplained, passing like that.
So I'm going to try and see if I can talk to her. What did you say she was studying or did?
She started a company and was the CEO of a tech company that focused on artificial intelligence.
Is there any more information on the company?
I can try to find some. I know that case information is actually very limited, which is why I was only able to send you a couple pictures, one or two maybe. Let's see. Let me see if I can find the name of her company, if it's still even operational.
I think I'm ultimately being blocked from this. But I'm curious if I'm being blocked or if I just need another direction to go.
Right. So she founded a company called Tinker Ventures, Tinker. And let me see if their website is still operational. Oh. I'm not sure if this is the right Tinker Ventures because it's .co. It's usually .com. So the only Tinker Ventures I can find is, and now they do app development, software development.
So what I'm starting to feel is more so the people that came to her car and unalived her. I'm seeing them, but I'm being blocked from a lot of information.
Why do you think that is?
Because this is not a road anyone should be going down. This is bigger than a lot of us. So her feeling like she has, her saying, that this, what did she say? We're in the Matrix.
Yes, she said it's a thought experiment. We're in the Matrix. It's a game. Yeah. Quote, it's a game. It's all a game. It's a thought experiment. We're in the Matrix.
So there's people that are, it's interesting that maybe this was done on purpose, but all three of these cases sort of have a similar feel, right? Where they're all, except for the young boy, although he was searching for something, some sort of portal type, sci-fi type thing. But both of these cases, her and Lars, was that his name, the other one?
Yes.
They are being influenced by groups of people who are manipulating and controlling to a certain degree other individuals. And she, although never dabbled in this before, had no idea about what this was or is. But when she started to get involved in AI, something about that business is revealing things to people.
Mm-hmm.
And they're now coming head to head with these groups of people that are, to a certain degree, I'm going to revisit what that means in a minute, controlling others. Now, I'm not going to, I can see who these people are, but I'm not going to reveal anything because I don't want to get involved in that. It's not serving anyone for us to get ourselves in harm's way. So, and when I talk about the Matrix, the Matrix and who these people are that are influencing and controlling other people's minds, it is the majority, but it is not everybody. It is those that are easily manipulated, or that can be easily manipulated. That is not everybody.
Right.
And there is a way to push back against what's happening. And this is something you and I have talked about, but it's about everyone developing their intuition. And so the communication starts underground, meaning we begin to communicate intuitively so that there's no paper trail, so that there's no way of tracking us. And as we all start to communicate underground, but in an intuitive way, it overrides and bypasses those that are trying to manipulate and are trying to control or affect this matrix that she references. So this isn't a foreboding situation unless you are unaware. And the only way to really protect or not get in the way of that, or not getting caught in that, is to develop your own intuition. Because if you don't develop your own intuition, then you're just believing what you read, and you don't know what you're reading. You don't know if that's truth or not truth. But if you connect with your intuition and your psychic abilities, then your information is coming from source. And that information is not negotiable. And once you learn how to connect like that, you will understand what that means about it not being negotiable. And the more of us that are communicating like that through feeling, intuition, this is how you override, bypass, and stop those that are trying to interfere. The matrix is not man-made, and the matrix is not something outside of us constructed to manipulate us. I would say join my Patreon page for us to get into that, because that's not a true crime discussion. So you can scan the QR code. There's my plug. We're actually talking about this over there with parallel lives and that type of thing. And this falls into that. What's happening now is things are coming to light, right? And the truth is being revealed. That's just the nature of the times we are in. And so free will, all humans have free will. Free will means you have the choice to raise your vibration or not. That's your free will. You can choose to raise your vibration or not. If you choose to raise your vibration, 5 steps to consciousness, I'll put it in the description. If you choose to do that, you will bypass this type of situation that will continue to grow because of AI. They will continue to try and monitor individuals in order to control AI. In order for us to stop it before it gets more out of control, more of us need to go, they keep referring to underground, which is intuitively learning how to communicate so that it can't be tracked or anything like that. And even those that have mind control capabilities, what I'm referencing overrides that and has the ability to block that. And that will be something that I can talk about on my Patreon page. But 2 men took her. It was directly related to AI. And yeah, I mean, they took her and returned her, is what I'm trying to say, right?
Right.
Took her and so I feel like it's not a mystery, and just confirming that for everybody who already was like, is it really a mystery?
Yeah, I think you're right. It's not necessarily a mystery, but just to me, it's so fascinating because like what she said and then that happened, is
Not a coincidence.
right, right, right. I don't even want to know what they did when they took her.
I think what's interesting is, so I feel like they just gave her something to fall asleep and never wake up.
Okay. That would make sense as to why her certificate says natural causes, because they couldn't find anything.
Right.
Yeah.
It probably gave her I'm based on what I'm feeling, it probably gave her like a mini stroke or a mini heart attack, something like that. The thing is, she says, her words about the Matrix combined with the work she was doing with AI. And it's not even that, it was just like, I feel like she wasn't even like trying, like for a lot of these people, they're not even like her. I can do it. Her specifically, she wasn't trying to uncover anything. She was just poking around to build her business, really very innocently. And then she got intrigued, and then it took a turn. Because she got intrigued and was like clicking on things that were going to this, like they're saying, like she was clicking on stuff that took her to this place that she shouldn't have gone to and she shouldn't have had access to. So how was she able to access this place? Because those that are developing or working with AI are being tracked very heavily, is what I'm being told. And you just confirmed that. So she was very naive to that. Like there are a lot of people in, what do you call it, tech development that are aware that they're heavily monitored, so they purposely know to not do certain things. And she didn't. She feels very naive to me and just was clicking away on stuff, and other people know not to do that.
Right. I don't know if you can tell or if you can read it somewhere, but I don't know if it's these cases that just stick out to me because they're very interesting and they're kind of have an unsolved mystery-esque type of feel to them, or if what's happening is just so widespread that it's 6 out of every 10 cases. Makes me wonder.
That's a really interesting point.
And I'm not sure if you can even say it here, but do you ever see this, what's happening on the other side, stopping completely?
It has the potential to, yes. So let me answer both those questions. So your first question about it, is it widespread? It's not as widespread as we think because it's very targeted. but you are intuitively being drawn to these cases. So you're seeing more than the average person because you're intuitively being drawn to them. But they're very targeted. They're not, even though this is just what I'm being told, you know, yes, there's surveillance happening across the board, but they're targeting people that are in positions that could affect the bigger picture. They're not targeting you and I, but we also don't want to get on the radar, obviously, by saying too much. But as far as it stopping, we have the potential to stop it, yes. And they are obviously, as we know, because every time we turn around, there's another scientist being unalived for all of this. But that's happening. Why? Because they're scared. Not the scientists. This group is scared because we're all moving in. And so I go back to raising your consciousness. We all raise our consciousness. It's not that all it does is override and push these people back. And then we're able to step in and stop all the crappy behavior that's been going on, not by fighting and not by necessarily doing specific things other than raising your vibration, and it shifts the way we interact, how we communicate, how we do things. If we're raising our vibration and we're all communicating intuitively and psychically, which is how we are all capable and should be ultimately. I'm not saying we shouldn't be speaking, but I'm saying if everyone is meeting strangers from an intuitive place and that you're able to feel that stranger out, where they've been, where they're going, who they are from an intuitive space, how we treat each other will be totally different, because we won't be reacting and responding from childhood, from skin color, from this to gender, that blah, blah, all that stupidity. We'll be responding from an intuitive place of compassion. And that behavior will change how we do everything on earth. But the masses need to step into that. And there is the potential for us to do that. And the more that these cases are brought to light, and the more that we see this happening, and the more we all realize that it's happening for a reason and shouldn't be happening, the more individually we will step up. It is that raising your consciousness is not a mystery. It's not some crazy thing. It's not some class you have to take. It's just what you do every single day. And again, I will provide that for you. There's no mystery to it. You don't have to invest money in it. It's natural. Who we are as enlightened beings. It's natural.
Right. I think that I know you've said this plenty of times before on other videos, but I think that's our default, and we get programmed out of that over time and reprogrammed with other things.
Exactly.
What are some signs that someone is raising their consciousness to kind of say, okay, I'm on the right path?
Compassion for the self and compassion for others. Compassion is the first sign of raising your consciousness, because compassion means you're seeing the whole picture and not one side. That person did that and they're bad. That person doesn't, or whatever, and they're bad. Instead, there's that person did that, and I'm feeling okay, seeing. And compassion and understanding the whole picture doesn't mean you allow bad behavior. It means you understand. And then you have compassion for their suffering, because that person's behaving like that because they're suffering. It's not necessarily your job to stop the suffering or fix the suffering, but you see it, you get it, you understand. Okay, so now what? But combined with that is you've done your own work. If you haven't done your own work, you cannot have compassion for others. It's conditional. Everything is conditional. But when you start to do the work, which is the 5 steps, true compassion overrides everything. And then within that compassion, your emotions are now no longer your leading go to. You're no longer reacting from anger and resentment. You're leading with compassion and intuition. And that changes how everything looks. That changes how you respond, how you react, and how you communicate with everyone and everything around you. That's the starting point. And that changes everything right there.
That's amazing.
We forget
you could do a
because
whole show on that. That'd be so great. I could listen to this all day. I'm just like, yeah.
I think because when you go online, raising your vibration is like this thing. Like if you do this and you do that, and then all of a sudden you will be enlightened. Enlightenment is compassion. You are not enlightened if you do not have compassion. You aren't. I say this all the time. What I do is a party trick. Psychic, it's a party trick. It means it's, ooh, look at what she can do. Yeah. If I don't have any compassion behind it, I'm of no use to humanity. I'm of no use. I'm no different than someone just running around randomly, not providing or contributing to society. But if I'm doing this work with compassion for the souls that I'm communicating with, for the individuals I'm interacting with, it changes everything. And that compassion isn't easy. Compassion is not easy. I have to be able to forgive. I have to be able to forgive myself, forgive others. I have to be able to intuitively feel before I speak. It's hard. So that's where it starts. But when it starts with compassion, that's when everything changes. And that's what's going to, we have that potential. We have not lost that potential yet, but we are, as everyone knows, we're on the brink of change. We're on the brink of which way are we going to change as a whole for humanity. And the opportunity to raise our vibration is still there. It starts with you, and then it inevitably trickles out, but don't start outside of you. That's of no help. Start with you. Even if you already are volunteering or a nurse or a doctor and you're already of service, if you're doing all of that and not taking care of you, not eating right, not exercising, not going to therapy, not taking time for you and your family, if you're not doing those things, that's affecting how much you're contributing to society also. So it's a very complex, nuanced understanding of the self and how that self relates to how human beings require us to be productive and requires us to be a part of society and make a living and all of that stuff, and how we are rewarded if we work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. That's considered good. That all has to unravel. Like someone hearing me say, you're telling me that a doctor who, is on call 7 days a week isn't being of service? No, I'm saying that if that doctor isn't taking care of themselves and isn't eating right and exercising and sleeping and taking care of the soul and the mental and the emotional, that affects all of us. Just like if I don't do that, it affects all of us. And really understanding that to your core without judgment, and then making the changes. So exactly. I'm going to Patreon after this. I'll be on for Behind the Hauntings. Let me see what these I'm seeing comments really quick. It does. Neat. 8 signs have been discovered in alive not too long ago. They are disappearing. Yeah, we're up to 15 now, I think, aren't we?
And there's some in China that have gone missing as well now.
Oh, it's expanding. Okay, so they're getting scared because it's not just science. The conversation we're having right now is just as powerful as what science is determining. Because remember this, science can tell us things, but if we can't embody it and then enact it, it's just a statement. But if science is able to share with us, oh, there are parallel lives. Okay, but if you don't know how to access it, what does it matter? I'm sure we've all read books about parallel lives. If you don't know how to access it, what does it matter? So it isn't just that science has this, but I also know, science has the, I understand it goes deeper than that, but we have to be able to put into place what science is discovering.
Exactly. One of the things we're working on with Pneumogenesis is kind of figuring out, because it's like a different switch for everyone. I've learned figuring out how to get someone to have more self-awareness, because that self-awareness can help them see themselves, and then build that compassion that you were talking about. And
Yeah.
it's so complex because people are so complex, and there's no
Mhm.
one thing that works across the board.
Exactly.
So yeah,
Exactly.
that's the thing. And I've noticed that all the bad things are so much more ingrained, and they're faster to absorb in your brain than someone giving you positive
Mm,
feedback, you know?
I've
So that's
heard that. That's
something
so
too.
true.
Yeah, of
Interesting. Well, thank you for the conversation tonight. Thank you for the cases,
course.
Savannah.
Of course. I love it. I love it. I always love your insight. It's always
Well,
accurate.
you bring some, thank you, but you also bring some crazy cases to the table.
I
That sort of spurs this on. Uh,
know.
the more nervous they get. Yes, Denise, agreed. Agreed. All right. Thank you, Denise, for helping us. So for those that scan the QR code, Patreon has a lot more cases and a lot more talk like this. Tonight, I'll be there right after this Monday. Pop Therapy, True Crime Files, 6 o'clock here. Cloning. That's going to be crazy. And then we'll have shows all week next week. And then Savannah and I will be back in 2 weeks with some follow up on these 3 cases plus some new stuff. All right. Thanks, you guys. Thank you, Savannah. Have a good night,
Thank you.
everybody.
All right. Bye-bye.